Yep, it's time to address it. Those BBL allegations, they might be true. So, it's time to talk about how I went from this to this. Okay. This is long awaited. It's gonna have to be in parts because there's so much to touch on. There's so much to talk about when it comes to my fitness journey, when it comes to even, persons who have been asking, oh my gosh, I want to work out with you. How does it tie into being a multi-potentialite is the fact that I have learned so much through my fitness journey. I used to train people, but when I used to train people, um, it was helping me while I was helping them, to see the results and everything. And we're going to be talking all about that. But let's start with the journey because we all start somewhere. Now, for me, I want to say I wasn't fully starting from scratch, but I was a girl who what you call skinny fat. Yes, I was slim, skinny, and all of those things, but I was also fat. Because I want to say that I didn't have muscle or much muscle or anything like that. And until like maybe a couple years ago, I want to say even during the pandemic, that's when I really got the results that I wanted. And then I lost it and then I came back. But before we go there, yes, I wasn't really starting from scratch. So even recently, even though I kind of fell off maybe year before last year when I was going through burnout, which is something that I've talked about here on this channel before. Yeah, when I was going through that and all of these stuff, starting back my journey, I wasn't starting from scratch, and this has really been years in the making for me. And the difference now that I think that has helped me has really been my approach, and that approach has also translated in different areas of my life. So my journey, I want to say, really truly started in high school, and it didn't start for the right reasons. It started because I thought I was a little bit too chubby and I wanted to lose the weight. So I actually, under the guise of, oh, I'm gonna save money, I kind of didn't eat lunch. So I would probably eat, and I wasn't eating breakfast. So I'd probably have like one meal a day. I didn't really start eating breakfast until like a couple years ago, and it's now one of my favorite meals. Can't do without it. But yeah, and then eventually it evolved. Girl gets slim and all of them things there, but I didn't really know the science until later on in high school, in like fourth form, fifth form. And that's when, you know, still slim and all of these things. Even though one of the main reasons, apart from losing that chubby weight, which wasn't a lot, but one of the other reasons I wanted to work out and be this gym girly and this workout girly was because I wanted a booty. My mom has a booty. So that was my main motivating, factors. I even went as far as to promoting Teamy products. They had the detox teas, they had whatever, the energy teas and all of them things there. I went as far as promoting them and all of them things there. Yeah, would not do that again, would not recommend. But that was high school. Then I went to university, and the thing with university, if you go to the University of the West Indies, you do get free gym membership. I don't know if it has changed, but when I was there, part of the perks of being a Pelican is that you get free gym membership. Use it up. So I used it. They had the weights. It's a small gym, but there's much you can get done. And I used it and I got some results there, but my main results came during the pandemic. That's when, I got my main results. And I don't know if it's because I was home, my mom was home, she was cooking, because one of the main factors that didn't push me properly was the nutrition aspect. And then with my mom being home during the pandemic, she was cooking. And it's not that she was cooking bad food or anything, but if she's cooking, I'm eating. So that coupled with working out, I reached my heaviest weight at the time because I'm now at my heaviest weight now. Um, I reached my heaviest weight at the time, which was like around 130, 135 thereabout. And again, that weight and loved it, loved that I was there. And then I went through heartbreak. I went through, my 9 to 5 was very stressing. That was something else that, you know, brought me all the way back down. So even though I was managing a fitness page in terms of a fitness brand here in Jamaica, their Instagram page at one point at my 9 to 5, and they gave us perks for, to go to the gym, and I was going to the gym. The demands of my job far outweighed how I took care of myself. So even that, after going through heartbreak, after, um, what do you call it? My 9 to 5. And then after that, when I left my 9 to 5, I went straight into burnout. That was like sleeping all day. So you're burning calories, a lot of calories. I'm not eating as I should. And then after burnout, well, I'm still kind of in burnout, but way better. But during the process of burnout and everything, I got sick. That could have been because of burnout, or that could have been because of, you know, the fact that maybe there were some underlying conditions. But going through all of that, I went down to 117 pounds. Crazy. So yes, my quest, when I was finally feeling well enough, which was early in 2025, was to try and gain as much muscle as I could, and to try and just, get better, heal myself. Obviously, what I have now, even though I'm not diagnosed, I'm going to touch a little bit on my illness. Even though I'm not fully diagnosed, I'm not diagnosed rather. I have a couple tests to do and stuff like that. But obviously, what I've found is that working out and eating properly has helped so much to keep things at bay. Um, and while it may not solve the underlying issues, it has helped to some extent. So yeah, I made that quest early in 2025. I didn't get consistent until summer of 2025. And then from summer onwards, I have gone from 118 pounds to now 142.9 pounds, which is just 2.9 pounds over my goal weight of 140. And this is off after doing a body recomp, my recent body recomp. Right now, I'm just in maintenance mode. It is what it is. I don't want to really go above 145, and I don't want to go up below 140. So we're just trying to maintain right now. But this has been my journey. It has not been easy by any means. Has been a lot of ups and downs, and still a lot of ups and downs, because remember that I have something going on. Something going on, and I'm hoping that I can address that soon, when I finish my other tests and all of these things, I go back to the doctor. Hopefully we'll have answers and we can know together how to navigate that. That's the part of the journey of the multipotentialite, that you have all of these things going on and learning how to navigate all of them and still live a holistic life, instead of, okay, yes, I'm sick, and I'm just gonna dwell on being sick. There's nothing else I can do. When indeed you possibly can. Some persons might have limitations, but that does not necessarily mean that you cannot live a full, fulfilling life. All right. So, what got me here, and how can you get here too, or whatever your goal is? Because for some persons, it might not even necessarily be to, gain muscle like I am, because I'm now around 22 or 21 to probably 24% body fat. Is it body fat? I think I'm lying. Yeah, body fat. Sorry, I'm not lying. Which is a great improvement from the past 90 days, because I was around 23 to about 26% body fat. So even though I weighed more at the time, and I'm look good and them things there, one of the things that was kind of that I really wanted to change was the fact that I had some lower body fat. And obviously, as a woman, that something can be attributed to hormones and stuff, but I knew it was things like sugar and all of these things. So let's talk about the last 90 days. So the last 90 days, I made a goal that, okay, I'm gonna do body recomp. At first, I was gonna be like, oh, I'm cutting. I didn't really cut. And it was after a while I realized that no, it wasn't a cut, it's recomp. So during this body recomp, I limited sugars. One of my vices is Coke. love me a Coke, love me a vanilla Coca-Cola. Yeah, give me some of
Calculate,
that.
give me
Give me
14 of them
10 of
right now.
them. Yeah,
Really?
Hmm.
love that. And I was like, nope, we're not doing anything carbonated. Well, not anything carbonated because I did do sparkling water. I love me some sparkling water, and you mix the creatine in there. But yes, no Coke, no junk food. I mean, if someone bought it, I wouldn't refuse it. No junk food, no 2 to 3 liters of water a day, no alcohol. Alcohol does play a huge role in how, especially we as women, store fat. And just balanced meals. I was definitely prioritizing protein and fiber, but also not limiting carbs because you do need carbs, especially in the mornings for energy. So those were the main things that I focused on. I tried to ensure that I worked out in the morning because I realized as I go throughout the day, the willpower isn't there. But then because I've been working out for so long, most times, even if the willpower isn't there, I still somehow get it done. There might have been like one and few times where I'm like, okay, no, I'm too tired for this. Or I might have combined like my splits together. So say for example, Monday is a core day and Tuesday is like a lower body day, and I missed Monday, then Tuesday would have been a core and lower body day. So I worked out for 3 to 4 times a week. To be honest, I did this in like 3 stages, where the first stage was literally more about consistency. The second stage was me bulking. And the third stage was me doing body recomp. In all of them, I worked out at home. So I didn't use the fact that I was at home to be like, okay, I can't do this and I just made it happen. And sometimes you just have to make up your mind to make it happen. Whatever your goals are, obviously you're gonna have to tailor your plan towards your goal because your goal might be different from mine. I didn't have a issue, with being necessarily overweight or wanting to lose weight. As a matter of fact, I don't want to lose weight. I want to be in the threshold of having muscles. I like being a muscle mommy, okay? But this is where I am now. And it's so funny because I would have typed like months ago that I want to have the BBL allegations. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. Y'all seeing it. Y'all seeing it. Seeing the results. I have a plan. I had a plan. So as I said, I told you the plan. And the next thing was the consistency. Consistency 3 to 4 times a week. If I missed a week, I felt so bad, but I don't really think I missed a week now that I think about it. I can look back because I do track my stuff because the thing is, you can't measure what you don't track. So if you don't track, and you don't have to be super strict about it. If it is that, okay, I want to, you know, gain muscle, it's good to like track your reps. It's good to track how much weight you're lifting because that's part of building muscle. It's good to track how much protein you're eating because you do need protein to repair the muscles. It's good to track your carbs too because you do need the energy to lift the weights and to carry about your day. It's good to track your fiber. A lot of people don't pay attention to fiber, but fiber is so important. So you have to be consistent in not just working out and eat the nutrition aspect of it, but even tracking it. Can be tedious, but you don't have to do everything. Just do the basics, right? And discipline got me here because the truth is some days you might wake up and just don't want to do it. But feelings will only keep you where you are if you allow it to take you over. Feelings or I can't bother will not take you where you want to go. And that's just the reality. So the things that I've learned on this journey, and what it has to do with the multipotentialite is that, preparation is key. And I want to say that because during this process, I started running. I need to be more consistent with that. But I'm a little bit of a runner girl now. I used to say the only thing that I would run from is a man, in the sense that, and every man you are around, yeah. Yeah, the only thing I would run from is a man. And here I am now, a runner girl who actually is enjoying it. But the thing about running is that you have to condition your body for it. If you don't want splints, if you don't want knee injuries and all of these things, you have to condition and prepare your body for it. So it's not just with running, but even with, actually working out, you have to warm your body up if you don't want injuries. And in life, we have to prepare ourselves for anything, because when the opportunity comes, right? When the opportunity comes a knocking, you want to be prepared. Just like how I want to do high rocks. I don't know when I'm gonna get to do high rocks, where I'm gonna do the high rocks, but I'm going to, my next season, my next phase is now preparation for high rocks, and more, as I said, maintaining and yeah, just maintenance. But I am preparing for high rocks, which is, so I'm just preparing. And then when the opportunity comes, I would have been already prepared, or I would have already been preparing. So I wouldn't have to be starting from scratch. And as I said, this doesn't just fall with fitness, but that's what fitness has taught me, that you have to prepare in order to progress. Yeah. You have to prepare, I'm gonna write that down, in order to progress. Because when the opportunity comes knocking, you want to ensure that you don't have to be stopping and saying, okay, I can't go any further because I'm not prepared for this. All right, let's go on to the next one. So, what it has also taught me is that if I can be disciplined in this area of my life, then I can be disciplined in any other area of my life. And it's really just a matter of me, you know, transferring those skills, right? So I set my goal. This is my goal for this season. Da 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 da. Transfer it to your business, transfer it to your personal life. What is that goal, right? Um, Delayed gratification was one thing, because I want to sleep in my bed, right? I want to sleep late in my bed and roll out whenever more. But no, I have to wake up early. I have to work out so that, my days go smoother. I have to wake up early. I have to do my devotion, so my day goes better. That's what I find too, is that when I don't do my devotions in the morning, my day is kind of wonky. But when I do my devotion, it's like everything just is perfection. Um, Days, I mean, not to say that there aren't hiccups, but it's so much better. And that is because I've been trying to be more disciplined about it. I've set up different things to ensure that, Bible first, everything else after. You understand? Jesus first, everything else after. But the point is, fitness in itself, because it's one of the first things I do in the morning, or try to do in the morning, transferring that skill off, sometimes you have to delay gratification on things that make you feel good and things that up your dopamine, so that, you can progress. Remember, preparation equals progress. So does discipline. Discipline equals progress, right? It helps to build a habit, and also it helps me to adapt when things don't even go as planned, because sometimes I have to be pivoting. Okay, I don't feel too good today, because remember earlier I would have mentioned that, I am undiagnosed with something and I don't feel good today. Does it mean that I'm not gonna work out? Does it mean that I have to do a lighter workout? It's learning to adapt. What is the plan? The plan. What is, and then we go from there. So another thing is that, and I've mentioned it before, progress compounds, right? So it's easy to get discouraged when you see micro things. Sometimes we don't even realize the micro progresses, but everything adds up in the end. Everything are gonna make sense in the end. So don't forget, preparation is key. Discipline, it can teach you discipline in other areas of your life. And progress compounds. And also, it helps me to redefine success, right? So how does it help me to redefine success? A lot of times we want to be so one track minded, and we're going to focus just on our career. We're going to focus just on getting better, for example, because I'm sick. We're going to focus just on one thing. And in life, there's going to be so many things that are bombarding you. And if you're not able to, manage all of those things, and granted, there are going to be sometimes when you're just going to have to prioritize one thing over the other. But what it has taught me is to help me to become more well-rounded person. So that means that I have to set up my days where I can be the most productive that I can be, depending on what day that is. If it's not like a vacation day or just a chill day, that day has to be which means that I have to really follow my systems, follow my plans, follow my routines, right? And that it aids you to help you to become a well-rounded person. One of the things that I was failing in recently, and I've caught myself and I'm getting better and I hope to get even more better, was that my friends, my social life was kind of, dwindling because I was so becoming so one-track minded with things that, yes, obviously it's gonna make me money, it's gonna make me healthier, better, but then that social, because no man is an island. You do need your friends, you do need your family, right? So it has been teaching me that, okay, how to learn how to prioritize, how to learn how to do this and that so that I can be more well-rounded. And that's literally just a synopsis, a mouthful of my journey. And I really want to continue taking you along this journey. I really want to invite you into my world of fitness because I get so excited. I'm hoping that I can bring some, some meals, like what are some of the meals that I eat, um, things like that to the channel. And I'm so excited because it's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a fun ride, but it's gonna be a ride. And I hope, at the end, well, if there is an end to this, that you would have gained some valuable information of how you can navigate your fitness journey, how you can become better, what exercises to do, what to eat, how to set up your life to ensure that you do your workouts, all of them things there, all of them jazz. So yes, thank you for watching another episode of the Multipotentialite, and I hope to see you on the next one.